Okay, so over the past couple of weeks we've had a couple of announcements for not only the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, but Russell T Davies' second era of the show as a whole. Those being Ncuti Gatwa being announced as the 14th Doctor, David Tennant and Catherine Tate being announced to return to the show, and Yasmin Finney announced as playing a character called Rose. As well as these official announcements, we've also had a number of set photos and Reddit leaks about the 60th anniversary, which I'm going to get into in this video. So this is everything we know about the 60th anniversary. So obviously the first announcement we got in regards to Russell T Davies' second era was Ncuti Gatwa being announced as the 14th Doctor. I've already made a whole reaction video on this, which you can watch if you want to. I'm not going to get too deep into it in this video. Now personally, I'm not entirely sure whether Ncuti's going to be in the 60th anniversary for reasons I'll get into later, but I do think it's maybe possible that he'll show up maybe like at the end or for at least a brief cameo like Capaldi did in the 50th anniversary. Now the second announcement we got was David Tennant and Catherine Tate were officially announced as coming back to the show, with Russell T Davies saying they're back and it looks impossible. First we announced a new Doctor, then an old Doctor, along with the wonderful Donna. What on earth is happening? Maybe this is a missing story, or a parallel world, or a dream, or a trick, or a flashback. The only thing I confirm is that it's going to be spectacular, as two of our greatest stars reunite for the battle of a lifetime. Now at first, I just assumed we were going to be meeting Ten and Donna at some point during Series 4 again, but with a lot of the set photos and announcements that have come out since then, that doesn't appear to be the case, and I'll be getting into that later on in the video. Now the third official announcement we got is that Yasmin Finney from Heartstopper is going to be playing a character called Rose. Now a lot of people were worried and even angry, thinking that they're recasting Rose Tyler, and a lot of people also thought that this might be an alternate universe version of Rose, but I don't think that's the case, and once again I'm going to get into that later on in the video. Now I personally think that she's going to be the main companion of the 60th anniversary special, not Donna, and I'm 50-50 on whether she's going to be Ncuti's companion for when he takes over as the Doctor or not. On one hand, I think it's possible. It'd be weird that they just have her in just the 60th, but at the same time I find it kind of weird if the next companion is going to be called Rose. So those are all the official announcements that we've been given by the BBC, but over the past couple of weeks there's also been some set photos from the filming of the 60th that have appeared on Twitter and other places. In these set photos we see David Tennant's Doctor with a different costume to what we've ever seen him wearing before in his era of the show, as well as a new sonic screwdriver, and he's also using Jodie's TARDIS. We've also seen the return of Donna and also her family, that being her husband Sean, her mum Sylvia, and her granddad Wilf. Now Wilf is my favourite character, so I'm very happy to see that he's coming back. He might not be in it for that long it seems, but that's perfectly justified considering Bernard Cribbins is I think 93 years old. As well as this, it seems like the new character Rose might be Donna and Sean's daughter, so some people have speculated that maybe she's named her daughter Rose just from that name being in a subconscious, which I think is very plausible because it seems that Donna still doesn't have her memories back yet, which I will get into later on. So at first, with the Doctor's different costume and TARDIS and Sonic, and with Donna's family clearly being a lot further along than it was when we last saw her, I thought at first that this would just be an alternate timeline where Ten didn't actually regenerate and he's just changed up his look a bit and got a new Sonic and a new TARDIS. However, we've had descriptions from people that were on set of scenes that were being filmed which kind of contradict that theory. Davey Boy on Twitter describes what went down during the night shoot. The Doctor bumps into a woman carrying a tower of boxes that covers her face. He helps her with them by removing a few of them. As he removes them, it's revealed to be Donna. The Doctor puts the boxes back in the tower and tries to walk away. Something that I can't hear in the footage makes him turn back around. Donna shouts for Rose, which confuses the Doctor, and then Donna's daughter Rose runs up to them. The Doctor shakes hands with Rose as Donna sorts out the boxes in the background. The on-set direction suggests a spaceship then flies overhead and crashes nearby, which Donna doesn't see, presumably to keep up the joke that Donna keeps missing these things. The Doctor scans the ship with the new Sonic. Sean Temple, Donna's husband, arrives in a taxi, calls for Rose, but the Doctor runs to the taxi and uses it for himself. He says Alon Z as he gets inside. So from this description, it seems that this isn't an alternate timeline where Donna just carried on travelling with the Doctor and didn't get her memories wiped, because this suggests that her memories were wiped and the Doctor's trying to avoid her. So this seems to suggest that maybe Jodie Whittaker will regenerate into David Tennant, making him the 14th Doctor, or at least 13.5, or I guess in a way degenerating into him. He also then happens to immediately bump into Donna. I guess we'll see how that works out. Now as well as this, Rachel Talalay, who directed a lot of episodes during the Capaldi era of the show, appears to be directing the 60th and has even somewhat confirmed it herself, although this announcement wasn't as official as the BBC ones, which I think is great because Rachel Talalay did some great directing in Capaldi's era of the show. And before these announcements were made, Rachel Talalay posted a picture of her and Matt Lucas, which has made some people speculate that maybe Matt Lucas is coming back as Nardole in the 60th. I personally think this is just a coincidence. I don't see where Nardole would fit into place with this. However, with that being said, people have also allegedly spotted Peter Capaldi near the filming of the 60th, which makes them believe that maybe Capaldi is coming back, which I guess would make it a lot more likely that Matt Lucas would also be coming back. However, this could also just be a coincidence as well. We haven't had any pictures of him officially officially on set or anything like that yet, but you never know, we might get some of them in the future. As well as this, it's been alleged that Unit will be coming back for the 60th, although no actual official images have been seen of this. As I was editing this video, there has now been some leaked set images of Unit, so we've got to look at what they look like now, and obviously confirmation that they are going to be in the 60th. Personally, I don't mind their new look. I do think they're a little bit too armored. It may only be the soldiers that are like that. Some of the other Unit characters probably aren't going to be heavily armored like these soldiers are. But overall, I don't mind how they look. They look fine. They look different to before. I do kind of miss the red hats, although maybe the red berets or whatever it is that they have might come back. I don't think we saw them in the images. But yeah, Unit is definitely coming back, and we've seen what they look like. Now, as well as all these set images, there was a Reddit leak that a lot of people have been intrigued by recently. This Reddit leak from Bad Wolf 3 reads, "A friend of mine works at Bad Wolf and has let slip some details about the upcoming 60th anniversary plans. This is all 100% accurate, so if you want to avoid spoilers, don't click below. David Tennant and Catherine Tate are back for 3 specials after Jodie regenerates into him on a cliff top. 3 stories are linked by the Doctor working out why he got his old face back and why he runs into Donna again after all these years. Unit are back for the first episode. It's a simple alien invasion story with the main emphasis on the Doctor reuniting with Donna again after 15 years for her. Sylvia and Sean return. Wilf is mentioned, but I don't know if he appears in it. Obviously, we now know that he is at least in it for some point. Donna also has a daughter called Rose. Rachel Talalay also directs the first special. Oh, and a classic companion returns in the final special, but I don't want to ruin that surprise. Now, on first glance, this does just kind of look like they're putting the pieces together from what we've seen in set pictures, but this Reddit leak was actually posted before filming began, and it very accurately describes what we've seen on set and even with the official announcements so far. So I think it's very possible that this leak is accurate, and if it is, it gives us a little bit more information on what we might see in this episode, or these 3 specials, as it says here, with hints to Jodie's regeneration, being on a cliff top, a story focusing on why the Doctor has got his old face back, and even a classic companion apparently returning in the final special of these 3. Now, with these allegedly being 3 specials instead of just 1, the next question we have to ask ourselves is, when are they going to be released? So there's been a lot of speculation that this first special might be a Christmas special. The first hint of this was that the extras were allegedly dressed up in winter coats, which for me personally doesn't really prove anything because the 60th anniversary would take place in November, which is basically winter. But another hint of this is that Donna's first scene, or what seems to be her first scene, is her carrying boxes, which could be something to do with Christmas shopping. As well as this, there is what appear to be Christmas lights that were spotted on set, and Jude, aka Pig and Tea Break, alleged that somebody told them that they were filming a Christmas special. And for me personally, Jude is quite a reputable source. I don't see him lying about anything, which for me suggests it's going to be the first of the 3 specials to celebrate the 60th, with the final special likely being on the 23rd of November 2023. Okay, so far that appears to be everything that we have about the 60th anniversary. Please let me know if I've forgotten anything in this video. Let me know how accurate you think what I've said is, and if you like this video, you might like this one here as well.